It's simply impossible to predict when we are getting official Pokemon Unite updates. 7 p.m. Pacific time for patch notes? Okay. Also, this game update is going to be at midnight Pacific time instead of 5 p.m. like we saw with Sylveon and Mamoswine, so your guess is as good as mine as to when anything is happening. However, we finally have game balance, so let's get into it. Starting off with Pikachu, increase the amount of damage done to the opponent's Pokemon and increasing the amount of damage. 2 strict buffs for the Pikachu. One is on Volt Tackle and the other one needs a translation. My best guess is Thunder because it's just called Thunder in Japanese the way it's used. However, the way it's spelled for Romanji is Lightning and Lightning is Thunder, I think. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with that. Either way, Pikachu is getting buffed. So that's really interesting because it means maybe Pikachu didn't get buffed because Electro Ball Thunderbolt is going to be the same, and that's like the primary moveset for Pikachu. So unless they do something wacky where they over buff the other moves and then that's what makes Pikachu super busted, Pikachu apparently is completely balanced in a fine position according to the devs and doesn't need a strict buff. I mean, we've been also saying, like, nah, Zeraora doesn't need a nerf, so let's just keep buffing Wild Charge. Balance decisions are weird. Pikachu mains, my guess is that you still get to be sad unless you go to Thunder Volt Switch, or not Volt Switch, Volt Tackle, because it's just, like, one of the best movesets out there for any Pokemon, and now Pikachu's A+ tier. I have no idea. I think it needed stat buffs. Or at least scaling buffs. I don't know. Slowbro, forget Amnesia, the waiting time has been shortened. HP recovery increased. That doesn't change Slowbro. That just means you get to ignore Slowbro longer. That's why Slowbro is the worst Pokemon in the game, because it's no threat. The worst thing that can happen with Slowbro is it makes the game a 4v4, because it has to like hold itself still and remove itself from the fight. Just don't try to burst through the Buddy Barrier insane Slow Beam shield and then just take out the rest of his team because he's a tank. Now they don't have a tank. They don't have anything protecting them against your 4 Pokemon that haven't been claimed. So, if they're going for the Amnesia set, yeah, just ignore him even more, and he's fine. There's, like, no auto-attack threat. If Slowbro had Venusaur kind of auto-attacks that had, like, major CC and crazy damage, yeah, then he could, like, pop Amnesia and just run around, like, 80 carry people. But that's not Slowbro. Slowbro's still bad. Gengar. After level 5, when you deal special damage, you will recover health according to damage done. That's spicy. And I'm wondering if more Pokemon are going to get this, or if this is just a thing to make Gengar stronger. Like, cause like Gengar seems like it needs a buff compared to the other speedsters after getting gutted. I still think Gengar is good and has like crazy pop-off potential, but the problem is the meta doesn't agree with Gengar. You try to hex in onto a Wigglytuff and then your game is over and there's a lot of crowd control anyways, so you have a hard time succeeding. But in certain like scenarios, Gengar is still old Gengar. It's not as common. Definitely not as common, but Gengar can still be scary. So it looks like he's going to be getting baked in stats. So not only are you getting cooldown reduction, but now you're going to be getting Spell Vamp, not Lifesteal. I'm wondering if other Pokemon are going to like find this, or again, this is just a Gengar specific thing, and if it's going to scale like other ones where it's like, oh, at level 9, that's when he gets 15% Lifesteal on top of 5%. Does it go 10-20? Because we've seen some very aggressive like critical damage and Lifesteal numbers in the game as well. It's gonna be interesting to see what Gengar does with this, and I don't think that like helps lane Gengar, because like it takes a while to get to level 5, and after your first clear, so it's gonna help with first gank to maybe not get immediately destroyed, and then you just kind of scale through the rest of the game, healing. Like, you don't heal off of camps. The jungle is not like threatening damage in Pokemon Unite, unlike League of Legends, to a degree. Like, sometimes jungler ganks at 3/4 health. Doesn't really happen in Pokemon Unite. Yeah, it's just gonna be interesting to see how this works, and also just Gengar, like, if he can use Lifesteal, or not Lifesteal, Spell Vamp with his Unite move with a Hex combo, then it eats one more hit and gets off one more Hex, and that could change team fights. So, interesting buff. Reserve, because I do think that Gengar is already strong, but definitely a nice little power increase. Alright, Blastoise, the amount of Wow! Wow, why did they wait so long? Why did they wait so long to nerf Hydro Pump? And everything about Blastoise. The amount of damage, yeah, Hydro Pump was like bursting people as a tank. That's what made it broken. The waiting time has been shortened, so cooldown reduction on something. Water Spout. Because Water Spout needed cooldown reduction. If anything, like, if you're going, why did that need a buff? Why did they, like, nah, Water Spout ain't strong enough? I mean, if you're not going Rapid Spout, yeah, then it's kind of super Giga Troll, but everyone's going Rapid Spout, and Blastoise is still strong even after the bug fix. It I don't know. And then this is what we needed. This is actually kind of the only thing I was hoping for Blastoise. Like, all it needed was a hit to the Unite move, because Blastoise's Unite move is way too oppressive. You can't give it that much damage as well as a knockup. It's a huge range, too. Like, every time I hear the Blastoise charging, like, using its Unite move because it makes the Pokemon cry, I'm like, well, I'm just dead. Because it's doing a third of someone's health in such a range as the tank, so he's going to get in there. It's ridiculous. The amount of damage done to the opposing Pokemon has been reduced. Good! This needs to get gutted. Like, I'm not upset if Blastoise is doing this much damage. I'm upset if he's doing this much damage as a tank. And that was like the whole thing. Like, there was no, like, when Blastoise first came out, he was just better at Venusaur for both the Solar Beam and the Petal Dance moveset, because Blastoise could just either special attack range you or melee blow you up. Not okay. Yo, Venusaur. We have nerfs. I intentionally weaken the effect on myself. I love it when the translations talk about, like, me in that kind of representation. HP recovery has been reduced. Okay, so it looks like they might revert the Giga Drain damage reduction, because that's like whenever you just see like move nerfed, move downgrade. I talked about that because yeah, 40% damage reduction, kind of nuts. Also, like, the healing, kind of big, but also not. But also, if you're going Petal Dance and then like you effectively have no cooldown on the Giga Drain because it keeps ticking over, yeah, that's a decent amount to have a lot. Like, what if we got level 8 Venusaur heal? Yeah, the healing's only 390. But if he gets like 3 heals off in a fight, that's when it starts getting problematic. And also, you effectively get 40% more because of the damage reduction. So that damage, what were the patch notes last time? What buffed Venusaur into being strong and went from 20? Oh, wow. I'd never paid attention to the strict numbers to a degree. I thought it went from like 30 to 35%, not 25% to 40%. That explains why Venusaur doesn't die. So that needs to go back down to 25%. Like, that needs to be a complete revert with the Petal Dance buff that we got. And even then, like, on paper, the Petal Dance buff didn't look that crazy. But Giga Drain, Petal Dance, shenanigans. I think it's mostly the movement speed, because now Venusaur can get anywhere at once. So it can get to safety while KOing the back line. And that made things a little crazy. Still B+ tier. Still A- tier. But, my philosophy on Venusaur is the way that kit is built, it can never be balanced. Venusaur can only exist in being stupid and stupid. Stupid bad and stupid oppressive. Like, if you, it's just the kit. It's just the kit does not allow it to be balanced, because you either, like, we saw Venusaur be worthless for, like, all those patches, and that's because it's not allowed to be strong. However, you give it 1 damage per level, 1% special attack, and then some movement speed, and now it just runs people over. So I don't know. Lucario, lowered attack. All right, just less attack on Lucario. That's good, because the thing is, a lot of Pokemon don't have crazy scaling. So if you lower a Pokemon's like raw stats or buff the raw stats, it's actually not going to do much for the Pokemon. You give Pikachu like 50 special attack or 100, even 100 special attack, Pikachu still does nothing because it has like 50% scaling. So you're giving it 50 more damage at level 8 or 9 when Pokemon have 5,000 health. So you're giving a 1% damage increase, which doesn't do anything. Lucario, however, this nerfs everything. Like, this nerfs the Power Up Punch moveset, which was always worse than Extreme Speed. This nerfs the Extreme Speed moveset. This nerfs the early game because Quick Attack, your starting move, is 220% scaling when you're starting with 165 attack. Realistically, you're hitting lane at level 3, 186 attack. So, I mean, like, that's not an okay amount of damage. That's just 10% of an opponent's health in scaling, and Meteor Mash also has that. So yeah, that, like, hitting Lucario's attack stat is probably one of the only Pokemon where it works on. Or, like, yeah, because, like, again, scaling is weird. Steadfast. Please. Like, Steadfast needed some kind of nerf. I guess they wanted to keep the fat shield, but 30-second cooldown? Are you kidding me? Like, the problem with me going, like, solo top Cramorant into Lucario is there was never an opportunity to gank Lucario. So I'd be like, yo, I got Steadfast down. And then Jungle's like, all right, let me clear. And then by the time Jungle makes it back over there, 30 seconds have passed and he gets his shield again. So you can't, like, break down Lucario through the lane, especially, like, Focus Band and other things. Fortunately, they're not running Focus Band because they're bad and they're running Score Shield. So, like, that was interesting. But yeah, not, like, this needs to go to a minute. Like, you actually need to have some counterplay time around Lucario. Fix bug increase Unite moves damage by using Glow Punch after using them. Fix bug increase damage of Unite moves by using Power Up Punch after using Unite moves. I have no idea what that means because after you use your Unite move, it's stated in the game text. The flavor text says your next Power Up Punch is stronger, so I don't think that was a bug, and that's what's being fixed here. It says increase the damage of Unite moves by using... Like, was it that if you Power Up Punched after using Aura Cannon, your next Aura Cannon got, like, a Power Up Punch buff? I don't know. Was that... I don't know what's happening. Comments? Chat? Like, comment, subscribe? I don't know. But we're going to see if this is enough. Maybe. But the thing is, you can't gut Lucario. You can't drop him to, like, 100 attack and make him good. So, I mean, like, let's say Lucario goes down to 140. That seems like even too much. Okay, we need to look at we need to go deep into Lucario level 3. Okay, yeah, so where was Lucario's attack? Lucario was even the 5th highest attack. That's why Snorlax is so strong, too. 186 at level 3. Where Sylvia? Yeah, like you can't really go too. Well, Garchomp has 156, but that's Gibble, so he's not evolved. Machamp. Like, yeah, Lucario's actually kind of low. But but he also doesn't evolve, so it's like it should be kind of higher. But I'm wondering like what they can get away with. Charizard, Charmander levels. I don't know. It's like, yeah, he might not even get enough of an early game hit on the attacks. Okay, so slightly weaker early game with more punish on the Steadfast and then less scaling into late game. Lucario's still going to be strong, so I guess they don't want to do like Greninja and just completely gut him. Lucario's still going to be strong, but he's not going to be like giga oppressive 100% pick. Or maybe this isn't enough. Or maybe it is enough. I don't know. Like, I feel like the only way you can make it work is by, like, cutting his attack in half because, you know, the scaling, even with the scaling that we talked about, it's like, yo, you can't give him 200%. Yeah, okay, so let's say he goes down to 165 attack at level 3. So 604 damage compared to 673 damage. Actually, losing 70 damage off quick attack if he takes a 20% hit? That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound like how math works, but I don't know. Or 20 damage hit. I don't know. Weird shit. Garchomp made the normal attack faster. Okay, Dragon Dice, increase amount of damage. Okay, yeah, that Dragon Rush did a surprisingly weak amount of damage for an ability. Like, just any ability in Pokemon Unite, it just felt like you're just doing it for the crowd control, which is hit or miss, and if it's going to make Garchomp succeed. So that's kind of cool. And it's over Dig. So, I mean, you should always be running Dragon Rush, not Dig. But yeah, like, how can you justify that damage? Okay, technically that's level 1. That's before, like, Garchomp's attack. Wait. The attack scaling is so low. Yeah, the attack scaling is so low. It just doesn't matter. But then there's abilities that do like 800, 1,000 damage in the game. But Garchomp as the Super Giga Bruiser does nothing. Even then, like, Dig does a bit more, but the Dragon Rush crowd control I preferred strongly. And then, yeah, like, Earthquake, Dragon Claw still hit and miss. Dragon Claw's, like, Garchomp's abilities do surprisingly no damage, but then it's all about the auto attacks on Garchomp. And the attack speed is interesting. He needs more lifesteal, to be honest. Like, he needs to start at 5 and then get, like, 5% more compared to everything else, so he actually, like, heals a lot better. Yeah, we're gonna see, like, the attack speed. Like, Gibble already attacks so fast, so just turning it into a melee machine gun, that's kind of aight, but it needs, like, crowd control. It needs kind of a different-ish kit to make that work. So we're gonna see how that goes. Zeraora, no nerfs. Fix bug where that may not be displayed after using dive. So I'm guessing you don't see like your auto attack being displayed correctly, your empowered auto attack or something. Maybe your Pokemon, like maybe just Cramorant looks weird after coming out of dive, or like the graphics are messed up on it. Gale Wing, no nerf for Talonflame? Okay. Okay, so Blastoise and Venusaur more problematic than Talonflame Zeraora. Gonna have to disagree with the devs here. Fix bug was not activated when returning after being KO'd. Wait, that's actually a buff. That's a strict buff? What's this word? Is that Gale Wings? Because like it's spelled Gale Wings here, and then it's that. So like if you get KO'd and then you respawn and then you don't get Gale Wings, so you don't have the speed boost because of like some kind of weird bug. That means like Talonflame is the same but faster now. Why? All right. Amount of AOS energy obtained during a. Oh wait, whoa. We're actually getting into gameplay changes? We're getting into gameplay, like they're actually changing the game? Okay. Thunder. The amount of AOS energy obtained during KO. Wait, that's Zapdos. You get less energy on a KO on Zapdos. Okay. They didn't change the scores. Like, they didn't change, like, how the scoring mechanic works. They didn't change the goals. They didn't change the 2-minute warning double points. They don't change those interactions. But you don't get as much we're going to see how much it gets nerfed down to. But that could actually change things. That means the game gets weird because people might not have 50 points to dunk. And if you don't have 50 points to dunk, you're not breaking that goal. So if you have people waiting in center for a goal that's never getting broken, kind of makes things awkward. However, this could have a really weird, like, backlash effect to where sometimes you get blocked out of scoring as you're, like, making it all the way into their base. But now you're allowed to overcap. So instead of 2 100-point scores, there's a chance of, like, 2 80-point scores, thus leading in a net gain of 60 for some weird flip scenarios. Or people just aren't getting as much. So now Zapdos isn't worth 500 points, it's worth 400 points. Still super important. But also, like, they're not going to reduce it by 20. So, I mean, like, it's worth 450 points instead of 500 points. But the goal break scenarios get weird. However, in coordinated play, I think that could actually turn into a buff where it's like, hey, 2 go bot, overcap it. 2 go top, overcap it. 1 person died. And then we ended up scoring more than if, like, 2 people got KO'd because they were all trying to go into center. Maybe also creates counterplay scenarios, like, point that out as the team losing Zapdos. I don't know. Amount of whoa, they just nerfed all the big objectives. Holy, wait. No, they buffed. Okay, so wait, they nerfed Zapdos. They nerfing Drednaw. I glanced at that. I didn't read it. It looks like they're nerfing or they're buffing Rotom. Hold up. Amount of shields reduced. Experience points reduced. Ooh, whoa. Pokemon Unite might be a real game. Because, like, yeah, if you nerf Drednaw, then it means that Zapdos fights are less oppressive on the snowballed games, and you're giving less reward. I don't think this is enough, but it's significant. Now, I don't know what this means. Movement speed, hit points, and attack to reach the opponent's goal have been increased. Like, does that mean Rotom is way more buffed? Like, they buffed Rotom's hit points and attack? Like, Rotom can solo people after you take it. So I guess they want to make it a big threat, where it's like, now it moves faster, which I think is actually pretty big. Like, Rotom would push so slow, and then it's like, man, Rotom takes like 2 minutes to push. Drednaw's back up. We have to abandon this Rotom push because Drednaw is infinitely more important, so we can get Drednaw, and then like, then you just ignore it, and then whatever happens. Depending on how the teams react to it, you know, you just let Rotom crash and it only gives up 20 points because all 10 people are down bot lane going for Drednaw. So I mean, like, I don't think it's not the innate threat of Rotom. Like, I personally let Rotom crash, so they take the first outer goal, and then Audinos are up, and then you get comeback experience for the rest of the game. That also charges your Unite moves, so that's fine. Like, losing first goal after first Rotom spawn, that's whatever. That doesn't matter. So, I mean, like, this might encourage that to happen more. However, I think this makes second goal Rotom a lot scarier, because now Rotom is going to push, and it's going to break that goal, and it's going to offset jump pads, potentially. It's also just going to be like having a 6th member instead of someone just kind of in the way. Like, every once in a while, Rotom, like, turns out to be a lot of power in a team fight. But now this is going to get weird. It's going to be interesting to see how that works. Or pushing last Rotom into their base. Like, what happens if you push it into their base and then you score 200 points or something? Like, that's what the game should be about. The game should try to have, like, more impactful scoring before Zapdos instead of ignore Rotom, get all 3 Drednaws, take Zapdos, and win no matter what. Now, this is kind of what needed to happen. And you actually need to think more in Pokemon Unite. Now, people say Pokemon Unite's too simple. However, what I've noticed is 90% of players, Pokemon Unite is currently too complex for them. But now Pokemon Unite gets more complex. That's going to be a cool thing. It's going to be bad for overall. Actually, maybe not. Because, like, idiots refuse to rotate Drednaw now might actually help the team by grabbing Rotom. Or if you don't go to Zapdos, maybe Backdoor has slight value now, depending on how much you scored off of Rotom. Like, that's where math comes into play, where it's like, yo, we got 150 points off that Rotom push. Zapdos is only worth like 400 now with their game state. And we're already up 300. We can do something about this. All right, the game isn't binary anymore. Or maybe it is. We're gonna see. I think we can only see how this plays out, but wow. Except for like no Talonflame and no Zeraora Nerf, this is actually an incredible patch. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.